This wildcard team is insane. Ah, I wish I had my wildcard. What is happening, guys? Welcome to FPL Tactics, where we look to master the beautiful game of FPL. What an absolutely crazy game week it's been. So much to talk about. We're going to talk about game week 29 and 30, what that looks like as well. We've got a wildcard draft coming up as well. I don't have my wildcard. Lucky you guys that do have a wildcard, but I'm going to be going over it anyway. We're going to have a plan for game week 34 and 37. It's always good to be future thinking as well. Let me talk a little bit about subscribing. When people subscribe to this channel, it makes the hours I put in so worth it. My wife actually thinks I'm crazy doing this when the kids have gone to bed, but when I see the channel growing, it's all worth it. So please give it a like and a subscribe. My name's Joel. Let's get into it. So, where'd I even begin? This is crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a green arrow with 20 points and not one person in my team returning. That's crazy. RIP to Regulon. Is that even if that's how you pronounce his name, Regulon? I think that's how you pronounce it. But man, oh wow. For the people that I saw a lot of free hit drafts with Regelion in their teams, which wow, great player as well. I mean, great option. So unlucky. By the way, if you know how to say it, Regelion, please put it in the chat, in the comments. That would be great. But yeah, I think that is the difference, to be honest. It was always a -3. And you know, if you went for Gibbs White, Kufal, a wee assist, not really many people actually got a return. It's crazy. Not people that you would expect anyway. Nobody's going for Zanilo. Maybe they are. But wow, that is absolutely incredible. I did not expect that. I was kind of expecting maybe a small red arrow. If I got the captaincy right, maybe I'd get lucky with a green arrow. But yeah, I did actually have the captaincy on Tony as well. And then took it off and went on to Son because I wanted to be differential, but then I just didn't feel right about it. So very quickly, I mean, obviously Areola, 3-pointer. Actually, during points in that game, I did think that maybe West Ham could hold on to this. It was looking pretty good. That would have been incredible. Emerson and Areola clean sheet, but it didn't happen. But anyway, you got a save point, which is something. It's better than most. And then we've got Emerson, Dahote, and Romero. Oh man, absolutely shocking. I mean, even just reading this out, it's shocking, but still, it gets a green arrow. Probably the most bizarre green arrow I've ever had in my life, but it is great. You know, Son and 4. I mean, Tottenham looked terrible, absolutely terrible. Fulham did an absolute number on them, but is what it is. We move on. They missed their chance. But yeah, Son on 4, Madison on 2, Barkley 2, Morris 2, Watkins 2, and Tony 1. I mean, there's not really much to say, guys, about this team. This team is just terrible. But you know, it happened. We got the green arrow, incredible, and I used 2 transfers to get it in. But here I am, 92,090 in the world. I think that's incredible that we're at this point as well. So that's game week 29. It's in the past. I've got a green arrow. So happy with that. Let's have a look at game week 30. So this is game week 30. So basically what you'll have seen here is I'm bringing in Salah as my transfer. I do have Tavernier at the moment in the team. I'm potentially looking to take in a hit to bring in Foden. But right now, I just feel like it's going to be a tight game between Arsenal and Man City. I just feel like that. I'm not 100%, but I just feel like it's going to be a tight game. So let's just go through it very quickly. Very similar to the last team, but we've got Neto and goal with Everton at home. You know, I'm happy with the save points. I feel like possibly they have shipped some goals though recently, but I mean, even that Luton Bournemouth game was just crazy. Yeah, hopefully there is a potential clean sheet there with Bournemouth at home. Everton are kind of struggling for goals, I think. So it could be a possibility, if not save points. They tend to get some shots in there. Gabriel in defence, and I am also contemplating bringing in Saliba in for Doughty and just doubling down on the Man City because doubling down on the Arsenal defenders because I've got no Man City players in my team. So and if it goes well, then it goes great, basically. And all the Haaland owners and Foden owners will be found wanting. And it is sort of differential in itself. So I do think there is a chance there. I think obviously there's more chance actually now that I am speaking out loud, more chance of Saliba having a clean sheet than Doughty against Tottenham away. So that's probably what I'll most likely end up doing. But yeah, right now we've got Gabriel, Doughty, Romero. I don't know. I'm not actually mad at Romero as a pick. I know everyone was going for Porro. He got the goal not long ago, a couple of games ago, which I benefited from. And he's been playing extremely well. He is the heart of that defence. The only problem with Romero is, like I said before, he is a complete hothead. He is a yellow card and red card magnet. But again, with that ferocity that he has, he gets in the box and he sticks the heat in it. Gets those headers in. So that's the translation for people that don't speak Scottish. But yeah, he's got that goal threat, a little bit like Gabriel in some way. So yeah, that's the defence. We've got Saka against Man City. I've got the captaincy actually on Son at the moment. I do like that Luton pick, but again, it's going to be really between Salah and Son. And actually, I think both of them are going to be pretty differential. In some ways, I think not many people will be going for Haaland because it's against Arsenal, but maybe some people will. But I like Luton and Son because Luton just cannot keep a clean sheet. And I think the way that Luton play is great for the way that Tottenham play. So I just feel like there's goals there. What might change is the fitness of Richarlison because I don't like it when Richarlison comes into that striker role and Son, I think, goes down the left. I feel like he's less threatening, which then I would put it on Salah for that Brighton game as well. But that'll be a kind of call towards the end of the towards the deadline. But I mean, all this is pending on people staying fit during the international break as well. But then you've got Salah in there, Maddison, which I do think I liked him as a pick as well, a bit differential. And I do think Tottenham are going to come back firing. They seem to be doing that recently with Ange Postecoglou as well. We've got Tavernier. I don't really like him being there. He came on against Luton, the Bournemouth comeback, and he did play extremely well. Didn't get any returns, but he was benched for that game. So there is an element which I'm a bit like, do I really want him starting? So there is potential for me to take a hit or to play someone in his place, but I think lately he's going to run there. I want to see what happens in the international break, and maybe there are going to be injuries and there's things I need to do. So I need to just see how that plays out. But right now we've got Tavernier there at home as well. We've got Watkins against Wolves and Tony against Man United, who actually looked amazing against Liverpool with Mount in the team. Again, what a game, 4-3. There were so many goals in the FA Cup. Chelsea 4-2. That Coventry Wolves game, absolutely insane. So yeah, loads of goals. I mean, it's a shame they weren't in FPL because the actual Premier League games were just dead, or at least all the big returners just didn't turn up. So yeah, that's what the team looks like for game week 30 as well. So let's have a look at my wild card that I've selected for you guys and what that looks like. So this is the wildcard team that I've selected that I think would be the best one moving forward. I mean, I appreciate there's going to be quite a lot of... I'm just going to move this guy into here. There's going to be a little bit of explanation for this, but the Bravka in goal, we've got the pair up between Areola. I just like the fixtures for these guys because the Bravka, apart from the West Ham Newcastle game where they're basically playing each other, they do have good fixtures. The Bravka's got Everton home that next game, and he's got Spurs. But then after that, Areola's got Wolves, whereas the Bravka's got Spurs, And then Dubravka's got Man United, but then Ariola's got a good run of fixtures between Fulham and Crystal Palace. And then when he has Liverpool, Dubravka has Sheffield United. So it's a nice pairing between them. And then Dubravka's got a great run of fixtures towards the end of the season as well. So it's a nice pairing. They partner up pretty well, and they're pretty cheap goalkeepers to be having in the wild card. What I've really done with this is actually trying to keep the defence as cheap as possible and try to invest it into the attacking side of the team as well. So, but a couple of hidden champions in here. We've got Gabriel. I just feel like he's a mainstay in the team at the moment. I just think he's someone. The way that Arsenal's defence is and the fixtures they've got coming up. I mean, obviously the Man City game is a tough one, but then after that is literally some really interesting fixtures, good fixtures towards the end of the season. And also, I do actually think there is a chance. I think it's maybe more than 50%, maybe 60 to 70% chance that Arsenal could keep a clean sheet against Man City because their defence has been so solid. And I think that this will be the defining part of their season. Obviously, I'm betting against Man City in this situation, but one person that definitely is a bit of a hidden champion is Kiwa. He's been playing so consistently. He's way cheaper than Saliba. Right now, 4.4 million. And it allows you to get that double up, but without the expense of having to have Saliba and Gabriel as well. He's been one of those kind of hidden players that bit of a differential as well at the moment. Let's have a look. He's only 1.4% owned at the moment, which is crazy when you think about it. But he's been playing extremely well and he's a good defence option. Gusto, I mean, this guy is just literally, an assist machine. He'll be the next sort of big defender, I think, for sure, because I think he's one of those people that again are super attacking down the side, always linking up the play, and they've actually got a really good run of fixtures as well. And I know that Chelsea are just one of those teams this season where you catch them, they score lots of goals, and then if you don't, they're frustrating players to own. But one consistent player certainly within the Chelsea team is Palmer, who's in there, and so you've got to have him, I think, as well. And so yeah, Gusto I think is a great option. He's an attacking option. I think he's got the trust of Pochettino, and I think I was going to say Postecoglou there. Get me mixed up, but yeah, Burnley as well as a home fixture. Pretty happy with that. Then you've got Sheffield United and Everton also in there. Saka, obviously, I think he is an important player to have in the team. I just think that, again, with the form that he's been playing, I was thinking maybe we could have Odegaard in there or Gabriel Martinelli, but Saka has got to be a mainstay in this team at the moment. You've got Salah as well. I mean, he goes without saying, what a player. And I think he's going to have some big points. It's going to be, I mean, there is a good chance that Liverpool could win the league, and he's obviously going to bag a couple of goals to get in there. Palmer as well, everything just runs through him. What a player. He will probably go down as the best value for money that you get as well. I can't believe, I think at some point of the season he was like 5 million, which is crazy when you think about it. But anyway, he's definitely a must-have. I don't even have him in my team right now, and I'm trying to figure out how I get him in, which is difficult because Man City have got great fixtures coming up, and I kind of want to have Foden and Haaland in my team, but then that would be the expense of Palmer. So I need to figure it out, to be honest. But he's there in the wild card for sure. Son, I mean, again, he always had that big pointer. I think it was like 17 points a couple of game weeks ago. He does look great. He is, again, the big goal threat within Tottenham as well. Now, this team actually is based on like 105 million. So where you could get that money back if your team value is like around about 100 million, you could downgrade Son to like a Maddison, and you could also downgrade Foden as well to someone like a Maddison if you've not got, like, if you need an extra 2-3 million as well. So these are the kind of the players that you could try to maneuver, so to speak. You could also downgrade Duran to maybe a 4.3 midfielder, or sorry, mid attacker, or also possibly like a dud. The amount of times that we've had just random bench players just so that we can fit in the team. But when you've got a wild card, you kind of want a full playing team, because especially if they're the bench boost, but we'll talk about that in a minute. We've got Son in the team as well. Arsenal, Foden, who's got Arsenal coming up, but again, what a player. I think Foden and Palmer are very similar players. Salah is obviously like that for Liverpool, but the ones that have really stepped up, Palmer and Foden when it comes to value for money. But I love this midfield. You look at it, basically everything that goes through Arsenal generally comes through Saka. Everything that goes through Liverpool comes through Salah. Everything from Chelsea goes through Palmer. Generally, everything from Tottenham goes through Son. And then Foden right now, most things that are going through him. And if it's not Foden, it's usually Haaland, who you've got in the team as well. So that's what I love about that midfield. It is such a strong, high-value midfield. Then we've got Tony. I mean, Tony's got some great fixtures coming up. Also, good chance he's going to double as well. So he's just someone he's got in there. He's got great fixtures to the end of the season. I just think him over Watkins just does it for me as well. If you obviously have higher value, you could maybe upgrade Duran to Watkins, but as well, Haaland goes without saying, has to be in your team. I think, although he's not in my team right now, but he will be in my team after the next game week. I'm taking the risk for him against Arsenal. I'm hoping that he doesn't go crazy, which you never know in this season as well. But that's basically the starting 11. Now, obviously, the bench does look a little bit suspect. We've got Bradley, who's been playing consistently. I just don't think, obviously, Arnold is going to be back anytime soon. So I think he's a great option to have. Cheap option, Liverpool defender as well. There is also, some ideas that you could have instead of Areola and Dubravka. You could have the Keller, which I can't remember how much he is right now. Let's have a look quickly. But I think I just like the double up with Dubravka and Areola just because they're the way that the fixtures land. But you could have Keller in there. Is it Keller? Is that how you pronounce his name? But anyway, you could have him in there. He's been playing well. Obviously, the Liverpool defence is there. I don't think they're that strong when it comes to the clean sheets since Kelleher. But yeah, that is another option to have him in there as well. We've got Duran in there because I think actually he's a good player. You watch him in the FA Cup, the Europa League, and also watching him in that last game, he gets his chances. He started him up as well up front, and I think he's one of those players that could definitely grab some goals. Very proactive, kind of like an early Darwin Nunez, where he's getting in the right positions. He just needs to be finishing as well. But you could downgrade him into a 4.5 striker as well, just to kind of get some more money into the team. And then Doty, I think he's one of those players that gets like 3-4 points because of the assists that he gets. No matter how bad the result is, he's always seeming to come out with more than 2 points, apart from the last game week. But it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's the way that the team looks. I think it's an amazing team. I mean, man, this team is insane. I really do think so. Wish I had my wild card as well. But the main powerhouse of this team is the midfield and the strikers. And you've got an outside chance of getting points in your defence as well. So that's the wild card option. So let's have a look at just some points about chip strategy. So I just want to summarise on a few points regarding wildcard and chip strategy. Wildcard now, sort out the mess from the dead ending your team. Try and position your team for game week 34. It's super important to be future thinking. The people that you bring in for your wildcard now, you'll be thinking about game week 34. There are potential double game weeks coming there as well. We can go through that sheet that Ben Crellin puts out so nicely. I'll put a link in the description below. You can free hit a game week 4 if you still have your free hit as well. Take advantage of the doubles. It allows you to also engineer your team for game week 37. So always think about as well, game week 37 is a big double game week. So if you're going to be free hitting in 34, then imagine reverse engineering your team for 37. As we get closer, I will be putting a team together of what that looks like so that we can start talking about reverse engineering our team towards that as well. I'm going to actually put a video on next Sunday around about reverse engineering the team towards 37, just to kind of give us a lot more future thinking. I think that would be super helpful. Now, I don't have my bench boost. I used it again in the double with Luton and Bournemouth, which paid off nicely, got me up into the top 100k. But if you still have your bench boost then, and you're not free hitting in 34, or you're not, and you've got that chip still available, you can do it in 34 or 37. Obviously, it completely depends on the availability of your team. This is why I wanted to do it straight after my wild card, because generally you have a full playing team. Although Emerson wasn't available somehow in that, so I didn't only had 3 people playing off my bench, but it still paid off. But I would bench boost basically when you've got a full playing team if you can. So if it comes to 34 and you've only got 2 players still only playing on your bench, I would risk it for 37 if you've got the possibility, and there'll probably be more doubles in 37. So I think a lot of people will be looking to do that. Obviously, the risk it goes, the further you go from your wild card, the less chance you're going to have a full playing team on your bench. But at least you've got the benefit of double game weeks as well, so you might still be able to get at least 4 games out of those players if it's only 2 players on your bench. But you can kind of see that coming up. But anyway, hopefully that's helpful. It's just a summary of the chip strategy. Hopefully you like the video. Please like and subscribe the video, and I'll catch you guys next week.